Now, a lot of people know, but some people don't know that hypnosis comes with a history of fascinating and multifaceted journey, which traces back to ancient civilization. And hypnosis in various forms have been practiced and documented throughout history, showing how this phenomenon has evolved over time. And ancient civilizations such as Egypt and Greece and China and India were known to have used trance-like states for spiritual and healing purposes, personal growth, if you ask me, and growth mindset and authentic self and centering and mindfulness and all of that in a newer terminology. Now, in ancient Egypt, for example, there were sleep temples were used as place for healing when individuals would enter a trance-like state to receive therapeutic suggestions for physical and mental ailments. And in ancient Greece, the temples of Asclepius were also used for healing through suggestive techniques while the person was in a relaxed state. And similarly, in China and India, practices involved meditation, visualization, and suggestions that were utilized for therapeutic purposes. And today, what we have today, we have affirmative, positive statements, affirmative statements. And there are many misconceptions, many myths about hypnosis not doing the right thing. So, okay, what's very important for me to say is that the psychology, all of the science of the mind that we are so familiar with today, that has evolved and developed from hypnosis. Before we knew anything about the human mind, there was hypnosis. And before there was hypnosis in Greeks and Egypt and China and India, there was shamanism. So before any civilization, there was shamanism, and shamans were wonderfully performing shamanic journeying for the purpose, for many different purposes, healing, spiritual transcendence, and mostly uniting with their own soul, becoming their authentic self. That which a lot of us need to do nowadays to become our authentic self. So later on, as we evolved and hypnosis, how shamanic journey progressed and then hypnosis developed, then psychoanalysis developed from hypnosis. And then nowadays we find so many psychoanalysts that beat down on the hypnosis, and they come say all kinds of wrong things, discouraging others from enjoying the many benefits that hypnosis offer. And it's not about me liking or not liking, it's about doing harm to some extent by telling people that hypnosis doesn't have benefits. Because with a trained hypnotherapist, a trained hypnotherapist knows how to assess if a person is hypnotizable or not, because not everybody is hypnotizable, right? And with severe psychosis, most hypnotherapists are not necessarily going to work with severe psychosis unless on very specific circumstances, right? So not everybody is hypnotizable, and to have licensed clinical social worker or licensed professional counselor spread the word around that hypnosis comes with, I don't want to repeat the words that they say because I don't want to repeat the words they say. It's just, it takes away, for them making the statements, takes away from people's potential clients' capacity to heal, expand, grow, and enhance their well-being. So as we take the oath of do no harm, nowadays we can also ask ourselves and other, and expand on the concept of do no harm, right? Because you can very easily do harm to others when you give them the incorrect information, and you have them stay away when you encourage them to stay away from something that can help them, rightly so. So in addressing some of the myths, okay, now here on the screen I have some of the a good list of things of what hypnosis is used for, but let me address some of the myths. The number one myth about hypnosis is that hypnosis is mind control. Please, no. Mind control takes a long amount of time, and it just doesn't happen. And I don't know if it happens. And if there is mind control, that might involve a lot of psychotropic drugs involved into something like that. But God help us, no, I'm not aware of, only from what I'm seeing in the movies, of how mind control could happen, like in Born Identity and Born Supremacy and Legacy, movies like that I get educated about mind control. But no, that's not hypnosis. Hypnosis is a collaborative process in which the hypnotist and the person being hypnotized work together to achieve a desired outcome. And hypnosis, again, is it's not sleep and it's not unconsciousness. Well, sometimes people can fall asleep for a few seconds or a minute or two, but at that time hypnosis stops. Well, at least with me, at that time I stop, I awaken the client, and then we move on, because hypnosis is a state of focused attention and deep relaxation. We take away the input stimuli, which are just so many, and only by closing the eyes you take away a lot of input stimuli. We can cause a lot of stress, and we focus our attention on the things that matter, that we want to address and resolve and solve. And another myth is that only weak-minded people can be hypnotized. That is so not true. Well, not everybody is hypnotizable, so no, hypnosis doesn't work for everybody. And people that don't want to be hypnotized, they will not be hypnotized. And the thing that you get to influence weak-minded people with hypnosis, well, let's look at marketing, because marketing uses a type of hypnotic techniques to influence you to buy the products which you probably don't need. So, right. People have to be willing to be hypnotized, and even oftentimes I have clients that they are consciously willing, but that they're not subconsciously willing. The degree of willingness in their subconscious about being hypnotized, it's not as open. So then we have to work a little bit more on it. But no, you can't. In hypnosis, you can't just do things against your will. I mean, there is stage hypnosis, and you have people on stage hypnosis like a chicken, and it's funny and it's entertaining. But I have witnessed that on my hypnotic conferences, and I've talked to my colleagues, because these are colleagues of mine that agreed to enjoy the show of being hypnotized on stage. And what they reported to me is that it was just a weird, funny state they were in, and they were having fun. Right? So, and hypnosis is another myth of that, is that hypnosis is magic or mystical power. it is a magic and mystical power to into the effect that it accesses and it works. It aims to access and communicate with the subconscious, the parts of the subconscious, the part that the subconscious is willing to be communicated with, and that is mystical. And hypnosis, it's such a powerful tool for behavior that else in self-improvement. And hypnosis is not meant to cure an ailment or a problem, although many spontaneous healings have happened. But spontaneous healings happened by the power of the positive thinking alone. You don't have to have a hypnosis session to enjoy and to experience spontaneous healing. So I would caution anybody that might be interested in trying a hypnosis session, or to see if that works for them, to do their own research, and see if those people that make, no, I don't want to use those words. Okay, so anybody that's interested in hypnosis, especially for self-improvement, hypnosis for self-performance, all of the athletic performance, they all use hypnosis to enhance their performance. Performing artists, a lot of CEOs, the high performance that requires a lot of focus and concentration and being in the flow and taking quick decisions, hypnosis, it's helps with that a lot. So please don't take away people's options and people's availability of having their mind curious about could hypnosis work for them or not, because not every hypnotist is equal, just as not every licensed clinical social worker is equal, right? And a lot of psychologists now, they make a great use of hypnosis. A lot of psychologists nowadays, they even make great use of Reiki techniques, right? Or theta healing techniques. So I would caution anybody that speaks negatively about hypnosis to educate themselves first, and don't take possible healing away from people that are looking for it. All right. So today we have Daniela Daisy with us, and she is willing to share some of her experiences. Well, not all of them, because we don't have time. that she's experienced with hypnosis.
I totally agree. So my experience was great. Like, first of all, I was conscious, so I understand exactly what you're telling me. I even could see how you use some information in order to relax me, kind of made me a little more, easy and more, comfortable. I like the idea of what you said on the beginning. I like that you said, you trust me, and I said yes. So I think, first of all, you need to trust the person who you want to be open, to be relaxed, to be hypnotized. And after that, I think it's very easy. I don't know. I was shocked too, because I have some misconceptions too, when I came first time and I talked with Carmen, and it was surprisingly different with what I was thinking was doing. First of all, I was all the time conscious. Like, I know exactly what she was saying to me, what I should try to do in my state of hypnosis. So it was not a moment where I lost my mind and I don't know what's happening. And I like the fact that the way how she said that she's near me, she's making me go over some stuff, resolve, go to the root. And because I'm an overthinker sometimes, I'm trying to, cure that. It will happen for a long time. I allow that. I think she kind of give me enough words and ideas to kind of let it go, to kind of really put my guard down and go deeper down and let myself be open, which maybe I do meditation sometimes. I like walking. I like peaceful. I'm a musician too, so I like music. I listen to classical music, for example. But it's different, you know. And what I saw or what I experiment, it's totally amazing. Like it's nothing from like stories or my life. Sometimes I even don't say something which is. So what I understand is the subconscious talk with images.
In your case, you are very visual, yeah. So the visual aspect work with you so beautiful, and you you enjoyed a lot of movies. Like the same with me when I had hypnosis 20 some years ago. I still remember those movies that happened during hypnosis, and you're right, you were conscious, you were feeling all of the feelings, you were aware of the somatic feelings, you were aware of everything you see, aware of my voice, everything that's in a room. You remember everything that happened, and you are correct. Those images, it's not like you remember something. But when you do meditation, but it's interesting. It's interesting because when we do meditation or when we do self hypnosis, the images that we see, sometimes they're unique, but most of the time we kind of remember images, and it's just I find this phenomenon to be interesting. But like you disclosed, there were no way you've seen those images before, things you've gone through.
And I don't know if it can exist in reality. I don't know.
Yes, yes. And the beauty of that is that the subconscious stores information in patterns. And when we can access the subconscious through these images and forms and colors, and then, of course, taking a lot of proper training to have you work with it, you saw that in just a few sessions, we've broken a lot of barriers, and so much opened within you that you were able to access and become more self-aware. And when you are more self-aware, you can make better decisions, better choices. You can feel better within you. But go ahead with your story.
That's what I experiment, and I want to share that. I felt somehow that I'm suspended somehow, like during, like usually it's action and reaction, like you've done something and that's coming over you and stuff like that. For me, this reaction, it stopped. Make like a space where I can just be somehow, not reacting, not thinking, not saying that or that. And somehow, first time I was like, why I don't feel nothing? What's wrong with me? Like you take away that. And then I understand that actually that makes me to actually make better decision and understand why I'm there. Actually go to the root, not just, oh, this is something I react and that. Here we go. And
Observer. Yes, you're talking about the observer mode. Yes, and we had the Fugu session, which helped you get into the observer mode. Which at first it gives you the sensation of non-interaction, and the non-interaction, the perception of non-interaction is actually you have fewer loud thoughts. And then you have more room to observe what thoughts to choose. Now, this is a big deal. If everybody would do thought management, the whole planet would be very well balanced.
So this is what I mean. Like somehow this type of therapy help us. I'm not saying that maybe help everybody, but I feel like if it's offering you something to be more relaxed, to be more in peace, more okay with you, okay with what's happened around you, I feel like it's easier to go through life, and
Well,
maybe
that's a
that.
big statement. I want to emphasize that easier to go through life. Well, yeah. Well, of course, that's a big deal. And please don't forget your thoughts. What I want to also mention is that with most psychotherapy, with most talk therapy, uh, the client is often guided to talk about their traumatic experience or traumatic or unpleasant experiences, and to go over, so what happened and how would you feel about it, and then what happened and then how would you feel about it. So in that process, in talk therapy, a lot of clients, they get to re-experience the unpleasantness, they get to re-experience what they want to get rid of. But in the case of hypnosis, that especially what I've done with you and with a lot of clients with their permission, we get to do this type of a mixture of regression and alchemical hypnosis, where you get to our purpose was to look at some of your traumatic or less traumatic over a list experiences that have left an imprint on you, that you don't desire to experience your life from that imprint, right? So but then you were face to face with those experiences, but in such a different way that you had no experience of unpleasantness. You did not re-experience a trauma. Now,
Feel like I
this is a big deal.
resolved the trauma.
Correct. We went to dissolve it because we talked about it a little bit at the beginning, and then we guided your. I mean, I was just a guide because you did the work. I was guided your subconscious to resolve that particular incident, which has left an imprint. It was an injustice as a child. You went through an injustice, and um, and then so beautifully, we just it resolved so beautifully.
Mm. So what I felt like it's me here, and you didn't come like this, forceful in the face. You came somehow like this, from, like behind somehow, and kind of push the stuff out.
Correct. There you go. See, very gentle again. Hypnosis is very, very. I mean, there is direct hypnosis. Don't get me wrong. I sometimes when I need to work with habit disorders, the smoking, especially smoking or alcohol, then I need to be more direct. But in your case, where you're looking to expand and grow and enhance to find your authentic self, there is no need to do that. And there is a lot of you've experienced a lot of nurturing. The way you express it right now, you weren't guided to face something you didn't want to face. Everything was comfortable to you. So
I like it. And one more thing that I want to say. Um, and I feel right now that the future will be this. Somehow we all need to kind of wake up. Somehow, look a little more deeper into us. Try to be a better person, or see how can we all have so much stuff to offer. How can we give more? In that moment, you feel like you have a purpose. You have something, you know meaningful in your life, and I feel like more people should try to do different ways. Maybe hypnosis is one of them, but even psychology, therapy, reading, yoga, respiration, meditation, church, anything else,
yes,
anything where you feel like, that's one of the forms which brings you closer to yourself. And I feel like for
let's
the
call it
future,
spiritual growth.
yes,
Yeah, go ahead.
I feel like this is the future. So more and more people, and I'm very happy, are around me, and they try different forms. Like I have friends who dance and they enjoy it. I have friends who goes to massages and yoga and they love it. So they all can experience this awakening and being true to us and being, the best of ourselves through different methods.
That's very important, and I like that you talk about it because that is very important. For some, at the beginning, yes,
Something.
at the beginning of times when there was no civilization and there was just indigenous people and there was a shamanism, we're doing shamanic journey for the purpose to connect with our soul, to make ourselves whole, something what Carl Jung calls individuation, work with your shadow and individuate, yeah, make yourself whole and balance your anima, animus, and address your personas and all that. But then things have happened and we stop doing that. And the spiritual work, it's not a religion. A lot of people are just so put off by religion and by some of the religion, the religions that encourages guilt. And people have had enough of it and they are put off by it. But spiritual growth has nothing to do with religion. You can do spiritual growth without believing in God. That is available. You can do that if someone wants to do, because we all have spirit. We're not just matter. We're not just flesh, right?
Yeah.
So we are not. I would like to say that I am not my body. I have a body, but I am not my body. Yeah. And then you say, well, who are you? Well, I would like to say that I am that which makes choices and treats people with respect.
And have a purpose in this life.
Yes, yeah. So, yes, definitely, you so beautifully are expanding your awareness, and now when I'm seeing you practicing more the higher mind technique. That's it brings me great joy, because you are so observant and you are beginning to observe your subconscious habits and catch them on the track and say, hey, do I want to experience myself like this or not? Do I want to think like this or not? So this is, I admire you for doing this. I admire you for opening your awareness into becoming aware of your imperfection, because and accepting those imperfections, because there is no perfect human, and our imperfection makes us perfect, if you ask Carl Jung. Yeah, but having the capacity to choose to not engage in your old habits that are not beneficial to you anymore, I admire you and anybody for that.
And sometimes accepting what you are. That's another point too. I'm still learning.
Yes. Well, this is the thing with the spiritual growth, professional growth. I mean, we go to school and then we go into a linear mode, all of it vertical and perpendicular, and then spiritual growth takes you into a horizontal type of a mode, and then we begin to wobble on it, and we're not sure to be or not to be, because it's not linear, it's not directional, and you don't know how to go about it. But after a while of doing this is how we used to be when we were like brand new before we went to school. Everything was possible. We were curious about everything in the world, and everything was possible. And we probably had tantrums as children, but it didn't last long. We didn't have hatred as kids. We loved everybody. Everything was possible, curious. Life was beautiful, right? Only we weren't old enough to go earn money to pay our bills. We had to go to school, right? So after all of that linearity and all of the years in school, and then you get a job, and then at the job, at your test, people tell you, this is how you should do, this is how you are going to be good at it. And then religion tells you, most of the religions tell you this is the way, this is how you're gonna be good at it. And then you get in life and it's like, am I good enough? So this is a big deal. That it affects your identity, your who you are, and then we keep on going in life according to those linear vertical constructs that you have to fit from here to here. But when we begin to step outside of that, then you begin to see, oh, I am good enough. But then you learn to be better than good enough and respect your needs, what you need for you, and also what the other need, the person in front of you needs. So this is not just empathy. This is emotional intelligence elevated.
And another stuff is feel the feeling. You know, you teach me how to go by feeling, not thinking too much. You know, at least for me, that's helpful a lot. And when you focus on that, you really feel that. You know, you feel before to talk or have the notion of the words in your mind. I cannot explain that. And you told me that somehow that's the way how we are all when we are little. You know, you just feel something. You know, and then before to express it, you know, and you recognize that, whatever, I don't know if you're conscious or no.
Yeah.
But very interesting, like for me, I think it will be, at least for women, because we have the intuition, it will be more in our body and more attention to what we feel, I think will guide better in life.
Yes, and you're bringing up something very important, because something very unique that I'm teaching. A lot of gurus, they talk about feel the feeling, but they don't teach you how to feel the feeling. I'm actually teaching you how to feel the feeling. What me and you do in sessions is not just hypnosis. We're doing neurocoaching. I'm teaching you feelfulness. So all of it requires a very focused attention, focus your attention on what you're doing right here within you. Because you practice a little bit of that, and then you go out there in the world, and all of a sudden more is available to you. People are not so overwhelmed by, it's like you say, life happens easier. So creating ease, well, it's a big deal. But feelfulness is very, very important, because I don't think I have let me see if I have the image here, the 5 steps. No, I have a lot of things here, but I don't have that. But in my formula for creating ease and for feelfulness, I have the 5 steps: awareness, thought, attention, choice, and action. So awareness is innate. It's always going to be there, right? And the way we experience life, we first experience it through this awareness, which is a sensation. We have a sensation in the body. So, and I wanna mention that sensation, emotion, and feelings, they're 3 different things, right? So these sensations that we have, sometimes they come with a thought that is not formed in words. And that's the second step. So we have a sensation, which is an awareness, which communicates something to us, right? In addition to, we have the sensation of cold, that we're out in cold temperature, of the warmth if we're in a warm temperature, or hungry, or we have the sensation that we have to eliminate through the process of excretion, or the sensation that we're tired and we have to go to sleep, other than physiological sensations, because these sensations are such a clear language, and we need to learn how to recognize this. This is not just intuition. This is accessing this is a higher mind that begins to access knowledge at such a expanded rate, 360 degree, which helps you make choices quick. It makes you helps you make good choices that benefit you and don't take away from other. But we have been so conditioned to go by the critical mind and to go linear and to fit into the box that somebody else says, this is how you are good. And then you find yourself, and a lot of people that work themselves so much and they do all of the things that they know how to do to be good, and they say, I'm not good, I'm working so much and I'm not good. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And feelfulness, it's my book coming out. Feelfulness, it's this is I'm still working on this book. I keep adding chapters, but this is a book that needs to come out, and Daniela is already reaping the benefits of feelfulness, and so many others like you. And should you be willing right now, if you're not too tired, because it's not early in the morning, it's late at night, are you willing to do a higher mind exercise right now and do a little bit of feelfulness? Yeah? All right. Let me get... Okay, so we're going to do neurocoaching. All right, so neurocoaching in progress. We're going to begin this in a little bit. Let me see if we have any people asking us any questions. Just a quick moment. Okay, I'm not seeing any direct questions over here. But Daniela, let's all right, so let's have you just eyes open, just take a breath. Very good. And take another breath in and then breathe out. And center yourself, which is otherwise known as grounding. Eyes open. You can close a little bit to rest them because it's late in the night, but then you want to keep them open. Right? Because this is not hypnosis, this is neurocoaching. And I'm still clicking on a few things right here because I want to prepare for something. Okay, very good. So now I want you to ground yourself the way I taught you to ground yourself. And just notice the sensation. Okay, just relax, normal, relaxed. You see how you went into thinking mode when I reminded you to ground yourself. Remember? It was just a few seconds ago. Okay, no thinking required. You know how to do this already. Grounding, very good. Very good. Just be aware of it. And let's create a rose to help us collect our attention from where you left yourself throughout the day. And there was another thinking. Okay, and you're thinking again. This perfectly all right. Perfectly all right. All right. So let's just have a rose over there and tell the rose to collect your... Huh?
Bunch of roses.
Okay, let them be as many as they show up, and let those roses collect the energy of doubt. At least doubt. Inconsiderate. Resistance. And bring all of your attentional resources back to you. And now you already have a sense of you being more quiet. and more together, more present. All right? So do you remember the attention, having the attention right behind your eyes? Eyes open, you can look at me. Just right behind your eyes. Okay. And now if you are to take your attention and take your attention all the way into the screen in front of you, the focal length of the eyes is going to adjust. And you remember the pressure in your eyes? Okay. And now just at the rate at which you're comfortable, take that attention from the screen in front of you to right behind your eyes. And just be playful. There you go. It's a very different layer of thought right now, just at a rate at which you're comfortable. Play with it and notice, because this comes with different sensations, and this little distance, if everybody would learn just this exercise. So just notice when you have your attention right by the screen in front of you, and then bring your attention back around behind your eyes. And when you're ready to describe something you notice, you can if you want to.
The roses collect lots of.
They keep collecting?
Yes.
Good! They're going in a background. Okay.
They like it's keep like I don't know how to explain.
See, this
Like it's coming out.
That's wonderful. This is such a somatic experience. And we're not doing that. All we're doing is attention allocation right now. Okay, so keep on doing that. That's perfectly all right. Yeah. So again, have your attention all the way at the screen in front of you, and then bring your attention back behind your eyes. You see, look, you just shifted right away, right before you smiled. There was such a shift you were so fully present right there, right? So now, where would you point your attention at this point? At what distance? See how you're thinking now? You were just thinking and calculating. We all do that. That's normal. That's a normal human response. Okay, so just relax your thinking. So just go ahead and look at the screen, all the way at the screen in front of you, at me, right? Very good, very good. And now allow my image on the screen to kind of go a little softer, and bring your attention right behind your eyes. There you go. From behind your eyes now, it's to go 1.5 inches back and 1 inch up. Relax the body. Little bit of pressure in the head. Yeah? Okay. Enjoy the space. See how you shifted. Now go down 1 inch, and then 1 inch in the front, 1.5 inches in the front. There's no thinking. You're thinking right now. There's no thinking.
I don't want to come back.
You're doing good. You don't want to come back, correct? Okay, describe it to me.
Well, it's such a peace. When you go down there and back, and I don't know, you just own it. It's happening. It's more quiet, peaceful, nothing pressure. And I always don't want to come back. I'm like,
Yes, the thoughts, you don't have the loud thoughts in this attention allocation place. Isn't that amazing? It's just a little bit of moving your attention. And there it is, mindfulness. There is mindfulness in less than, when did we start it? I don't know, not even 10 minutes or. Okay, so continue to be in that space. So is it, let me know when you're in a higher mind or behind your eyes. Are you here or higher mind? Higher mind. Okay, very good. So right there in a higher mind. Continue to be in a higher mind. Relax the body. All right, very good. No thinking required. And I want you to feel the feeling of capable. Just enjoy the feeling of, keep it simple. You're capable of doing it right now and you're doing just fine. And I see the shift. Very good. Just enjoy the feeling. All right, and then would you add the feeling of certain? Continue this higher mind and capable. And if I am to ask you how many fingers you have on one hand, you would say 5. That's certain. So feel this feeling of certain. As I ask you how many fingers, 5. You sure? 5. Yeah. No, for not sure. Certainty. Keep it simple. We want to register this feeling of certainty right here, right now at the beginning. So you remember later on how it is when you're certain. Right now, it's 100% certain you have 5 fingers on one hand, right? Very good. So continue that, and now shift this to feeling capable. It's going to be just a different flavor. It's just a little bit different. You're capable to shift, and you're capable to allow it to not measure. Very capable of allowing it to be different. It's a different type of capable. And then again, shift to certain. Very good. And now would you add happy to it? You shifted. It was such a small physical movement, and it's not just the smile, but you shifted. This is feelfulness. You felt this feeling, and this triangle, I'm giving you 3 words, but this triangle creates a state of being. You have just generated a state of being so beautifully. And continue to be there. And the beauty of it and the benefit of that is that we are retraining the amygdala. There's no exactly that, but we are. Because what's happening, continue to be there, just no thinking required, just listen to me from the higher mind. Okay, remember behind your eyes, and an inch and a half back and an inch up. Eyes open. Very good. There's an echo now, I guess. I don't know where this echo comes from. Let me figure something.
Casket. Artesia. Fountain.
All right, so just okay, this is better. So just over there behind your eyes, and an inch up. Just relax the focal length of your eyes. There's nothing for you need to see and identify right now, because you hear me just fine. There you go, right there. Very good. Certain, capable, happy. Very good. See, you just shifted into regal. Now there is a regalness. You just shifted into there. Very regal, very tall. It's almost as a feeling of being tall. I know what I'm doing. I got me right here. I got it. Continue. Go back. Go back. Very good. Very good. Excellent. Excellent. And you see, you can feel your beauty. You know you have beauty, and you can okay, now you're thinking, okay, go back. Okay, you can pause. It was just so beautiful. I'm sorry. Say it again, because it was muted.
Sensation, like you just feel like a sphere, like something, I don't know, like this is what I felt, like all the way around, like everywhere.
That's beautiful. Mm-hmm. That's fullness. Yes. Yeah, you bringing back, if we are to talk about Carl Jung and the process of individuation, you bringing back the parts of yourself all together right there, and then you have the sensation of this fullness.
So I maintain this all the time.
Oh, you will. This needs to be repeated. So this is what I want to mention, that throughout our life, okay, the physical body is has a built-in an attention mechanism for survival, to in a defense mode, to survive, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So because of that, we don't have to think about saving our lives when it comes to it. The body is built with that, right? And if something falls next to you and it's a big sound, you immediately gonna know exactly what to do without thinking. You don't take a few seconds, 30 to 40 seconds to think, should I or should I not? You will know instantly. So this is gifted to us. And the amygdala is very good at recognizing that. So because of this mechanism, higher emotional arousal will trigger the amygdala to what's the word, into this mechanism of survival, of self-defense. And now we're not out in the woods anymore with the bear chasing us, where we need to defend for our life. Where tiger doesn't chase us. We're not hunting in the woods to feed ourselves. We're just stressed, and we don't have time, and we need to move faster, and then other things are slowing us down, and then we get into the same response mode, right?
Yeah. Fear of the society,
Correct. Yes. Then the same, and this in addition to all of the rules that tells you this is how you're going to be good, this is how you're going to qualify, this is how you're going to be a good churchgoer. I don't want to use a religion. Not all religion will trigger guilt into the congregants, but some religion will. So then the amygdala runs in this tight mode. So any emotional arousal you would have, it's rather normal to be frustrated to the fact that you want to move a little quicker and then you're stuck in traffic. It's like, come on, cars, move already, right? But it's nothing you can do about that. But the amygdala registers that, and then hippocampus takes that information and the limbic system, and it stores it and puts it into the memory bank. It's almost like a savings account, right? And you keep doing this and keep doing that, and then when we feel we're so used to having a higher emotional arousal with tension, then when we have a happy emotional arousal, which you just had earlier, an ease type of an emotional arousal, we don't appreciate it, not because we don't want to or we're not conscious of it, but we've learned to, so nothing is happening. It's a bit too quiet. Oh, nothing is happening. So what we're doing with my neurocoaching and with Feelfulness and hypnosis, that and meditation and all of the self-hypnosis and guided meditation and all of the spiritual growth, what's happening, we take the time to have these experiences, to enjoy it, to register a new type of an emotional arousal. They will feed the amygdala and the hippocampus and the whole limbic system to begin to register eventually, to recognize, oh, I like it here. Just like you're beginning to oh, I like it here. I don't want to get out of higher mind. So, after
beautiful. You know, this is what I felt, and many people think that maybe it's wrong. Like, you see beauty everywhere. You know, you look around and you project, like practically it's pouring from you, you know.
Yes.
Natural light, flowers, I don't know, clouds. I surprise myself sometimes looking at the clouds. And you see beauty around you, you know. You see beauty even in the children who maybe they have some problems or something, and you see how beautiful their soul is. So somehow you see everything around you to a different level.
Yes. Yes, there's more beauty in the world. The world is the same, but you see more beauty in it.
Yeah.
The world is the same. You have the same amount of stress, but you go through life with more ease. Now, this is a big deal. And you are beginning to register these experiences. And the amygdala and the hippocampus and the limbic system will get used to it and automatically begin to appreciate. After so many repetitions, because how old are you? How old am I? It took me a good amount of repetition to flip the switching because there is a mechanism. It's like a switch, like a light switch, on off, on off. It takes eventually it doesn't turn on and off that easily, but you get to a point, if you do the work, of flipping this mechanism as to not reacting but responding. And if there is a reaction, you react to the beauty of the world, to the ease, to kindness, to integrity, to camaraderie, togetherness, all of these beautiful, beautiful experiences.
Us, like women, you know, we need to encourage and see that and project that around us. We all need that.
Yes, definitely.
And other stuff what I want to tell you, and I think that's another very good observation. I feel more present, like during the day. You know, sometimes you talk and you remember, like even me, and you talk on the phone and you say something, you're like, oh, how did I say that? I don't know, just coming out, you know. So sometimes of course, we are unconscious, but most of the time I surprise myself being very conscious. And when you're conscious, you have a different perception somehow, and I can somehow detach myself from the stuff, and me is here. You understand? It's a little space.
Higher mind.
Whatever it is, you know, and I can.
This is what you choose from.
Yeah.
If we are to take the 5 steps: awareness, thought, attention, choice, action, you're right there into observational mode. Your attention becomes conscious. You allocate attentional resources and you become more conscious to be or not to be, to choose this thought, to not choose this thought, to react, to respond.
Being unconscious, that's really funny. I'm like, what I was doing, I'm like, gee, I guess not here. Hello.
Yes. Yeah. This is wonderful. This is just so wonderful. And another very highly important aspect is that through this work, just feelfulness, just by me taking you to a bunch of experiences like that, such as escape of a certain happy, kindness, gratitude, beauty, and many other words, because I have a lot of words. I have lots of this to take you with as experiences, right? Through this, a lot of people, you have the capacity, well, it depends from person to person, but you can release your trauma. You can detach It's actually an emotional attachment to the trauma, is the emotional arousal. So the emotional attachment to the past trauma, it begins to disintegrate to some point that when you think of it, of a trauma, it's like something so distant that
It's so
does.
distant. You don't see it anymore. You're like, and I'm seeing now, like talking about, like what's happening in my life and what's leading and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't know. I don't hear nothing. You're like, did you hear something? I'm like, I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I start hearing even advices, so that's very interesting. It's switch around. Can you switch the trauma to be actually a blessing? Can you believe that?
I'm not going to get into this conversation right now and not live, but me and you can have the conversation because this is a private.
But another stuff what I observe, and I want to close here. I feel like I'm more empathic and emotional intelligence. Like feeling more than just now and then. I see the repercussion, like what's going to happen, and somehow, judge situation, people, facts more into deep in that emotional stuff. So I'm grateful for that. You help me to go more into that. Be more considering more is what I feel. And I have people around me told me that, like, wow, you're something like so. Yeah, and I'm able to put myself out. Like you're like, well, if I'm going to do that, that's me. And that's going to affect. And oh, okay, you were thinking about that. I'm like, yeah.
Congratulate. I'm not just proud of you, I admire you. Because you see that an action, even a word you say to somebody, has consequences, and you are already able to measure that effect, the consequence of your action. And this is what we want to measure. We don't want to measure whether we qualify or not qualify. How old are we? We've gone to school. We qualify already. Right? So I admire you, and I'm so grateful for you offering this live so other people can learn from, because I cannot talk about it enough. Yes.
Very
Thank you, and thank you.